Gabrielle. I'm starting a program now. Gabby. Yes, and a special good night to all, or good evening to all our viewers here on Caribbean American News Network. We are back in Studio One tonight. I know some of you said to me, I kind of like Studio. I like the other place that you operated from. And so I don't blame you, but we're here tonight. Please share the live. Good night to all. Good evening to all. A pleasant good evening to all our viewers. Welcome to Caribbean American News Media /network, because we are operating on all cylinders here. So how was your week, folks? Yes. How not your week? I'm believing that I am operating sound the alarm on a Friday night. But greetings to all. Welcome to the platform. Amen. Welcome. Good to have you. I'm just trying to do some stuff while we are on here. There is a new feature. There's a new feature that I want to add. I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to bring all the comments your comments into one area. But we will get it shortly. But greetings to all. There's a lot happening in the news, a lot of stuff going on, but I'm going to give you time. Our YouTube viewers are locked in. They're all fired up. Donovan, good to see you. Rose, how are you, my friend? And let's go over to our Facebook app. Now, last night it was so easy for me. I just stayed in one area and I was able to get everything, every details. But greetings, my friends. Lauren Hippolyte and family, good night to you. Also, there is also Messmin, Randy, Edith, Lucy, my friend Maria, Sipal, Noel, greetings to all, and Kamabash, my friend Marcel, welcome, and Malvinia. Welcome, Rosemary, and all those who are coming in. Good night. There's a lot of work for us to do tonight, and we're going to be, taking our time, but we're not going to be late tonight. We're not going to be staying as late as we normally stay, because I know some of you are watching on you're viewing on another time zone, and I want to be very careful in my presentations tonight. So greetings, folks. Please share the live. I am monitoring it. Please share as much as you can. And Laurencia Peg, how are you? Veronica, greetings, friends. Greetings to all. All right, so we're going to get to work. We're not going to wait for the others. Those who are coming in late, they're going to miss the program. Those who are coming in late, they're going to miss this program, all right? Because we're going to start right now. We're not going to wait on the crowd. We're not going to wait for them. They always come late and miss everything and normally get the last points. Jules, how are you? Welcome to the platform. Now, let's get to work. We have an ad that we will be following up with. This is a UWP young supporter. It is her business, and she's into financial planning. Please just bear with me as we go through the ad. Her name is Natoya Popo Leos. She's a financial advisor preparing for monthly budgets, low risk flexibility in coverage, fixed premium payments, death and survival benefits, provide emergency funds. So you can see our friend Popo, a UWP star. She was very skillful in ground preparation. I believe the first time Mr. Chastney run for Prime Minister of St. Lucia. She was very skillful there, bringing the youths together, and so support her business. She's a good lady, I can tell you that, all right? So let's get to work. Last night we had a video that we wanted to share with you, and that is from our friend, Sister Lauren Hippolyte, some people say Hippolyte, and her family, her husband. They distributed hampers, food supplies last weekend. Very important. We had a friend who really needed help. Most of you would have heard the name Nulester. That's the sister that we raised funds for a medical procedure on the heart a couple of years ago, and so we are still working with her, and the Hippolyte family have adopted her, and now she's part of their family. And so let us go over to a presentation there from the Hippolyte family to Miss Nulester. Please stay tuned.
Afternoon, sister. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, my brother. Yeah. This is a little something we brought for you again.
Thank you.
So you can get your medication and stuff.
And this is a fruit cake you can keep till Christmas.
That's your fruit cake. So Easter came early for you. And we brought you a few grocery items and
this
and
bag
stuff.
is some frozen fish.
And you have a bag with some frozen fish in there. Some fish in here. You have your water, your toiletries. There's some more groceries in there. And this hamper. So this is all for you.
Okay, Sister Penny, I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much.
Enjoy.
From the last time you bought from me and now, according to you, I didn't ask, but God still helped me and He's still receiving from you.
But we
so
were told
very
you have
grateful.
a lot left from the last sample.
So you know how it comes to her.
Yes.
So
And
thank you
you're
so
very
much
welcome.
again,
And
Sister.
like I tell you, you will never be left wanting. You will never be needed. As long as I have breath in my body, and God bless us and allow us to do it, that's something both my husband and I enjoy doing. You will never be wanting. You will never starve. As long as we can, we will continue taking care of you.
Thank you so much,
And
Sister.
always
You're very
make sure you
welcome.
send that young man to help, because that's too much for us to walk up this hill. And take care of him. Help him get rid of that cold.
Anyway.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for taking care of my mom. I appreciate
No, not
it.
your mom.
You're
Don't worry
very
about that,
welcome.
your mom. Just stay away from that.
Oh, this have nothing to do with me.
That's what you say. You're
No.
not going to taste the cake?
No,
Okay, no.
no.
Anyway, it was so
Like
nice
I
to see
said,
you
it's
again.
always a pleasure to do it.
Yeah.
And that's something my husband and I will enjoy doing. Since we heard of her plight, we are there to help. And as long as we can, we will.
Okay. God bless you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're
Okay,
very
bye,
welcome.
pretty
Thank you
lady.
so much, my sister.
And
Bye,
anytime.
guys.
Welcome.
Next time I see you by the market again, maybe.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow we might bump some.
All right, so that is the Hippolyte. Just watching it, the Hippolyte family. Just watching it, it brings joy to my heart, and that's the truth. All right, that is the truth. Indeed, we have some more clips. Just bear with us. All right, and I'm doing this so that you can be inspired to help to get involved in somebody's life. All right, I'm doing this so that you, too, those of you can help. There is always persons in our communities around us, our neighbors who are in need of support, in need of help, and so the Hippolyte are here for inspiration, to inspire us to do good. And Miss Nulester, she's a happy camper. I wish that they could have adopted me, with all that nice fish and everything else, and then I heard she's getting the delivery of chicken supplies from the Hippolyte again, and there's another set of hampers that will be delivered. By the way, the Hippolytes, they are preparing hampers as we speak for distribution, and is something that they have been doing all for a very long time, and we really appreciate it. Mr. Hippolyte worked in the United States. Now he's retired there in St. Lucia with his wife, and that is what they're doing. That is all they're doing, basically, helping persons who are in need, and I'm happy to have them on board, bringing joy, bringing cheer to persons right there in St. Lucia, and they're using their own monies. Can you imagine their own monies? They're not asking anybody right now for anything. They get to the supermarket and they shop and they get their stuff together, and it's very expensive, but it is a mission that somebody must do. And we really appreciate them. God bless them. Their bread baskets will never be empty. They will ever be blessed, and long life will follow them because they are looking out for the less fortunate among us. And so I really appreciate the effort. I appreciate what you guys are doing. I'm here in the United States, not much that I can do right now. And so you guys are the hands of God providing for these, for especially Sister New Lester. All right, let's go back to the clip, and then we have to go to the house.
Do it fast if you can, but take your time.
I'm speaking in the video.
I must say, them people bring a lot of things for you, mommy. God bless your soul. When you continue doing good, good will always come back at you, but not from the same person, but from some other person. You always saying that.
I will speak it to you, Ollie.
Yes, yes, indeed. Hey, mother, look at so much things you get there. Yeah. There are people that wish they could have groceries. Unlike your daughter have no groceries at home.
But I got feeling that it was my daughter.
You don't have no groceries at home. But you have the milk, you have malt, you have juice, you have ketchup, you have sausage, you have tuna. Mommy, so much groceries you have, mommy. Mommy, you have 2 packets of breeze. Mommy's a young. Where? Madame ça fait les mordis, eh? Maman, il est juste disinfectantini. Ou bien fait. Because mama rub the supermarket, man. Boy. I see something. Mommy, yeah. Mommy. Put that. Mommy, put that in your cupboard before this part. Voici bon ici c'est pas là.
Look at me now. Brother Garfield, I just made a video for you to see what I got from Sister Penny, which I appreciate so much. Brother Garfield, thanks to you and thanks to Sister Penny. I appreciate it a lot. So I just made you a video to see the item she bring for me.
I got an envelope. Behind you, mommy.
Brother Garfield, we open the envelope.
But you have the money. $150?
Yeah.
That's great. At least it can bring you a long way. You can still do your
Garfield,
little art.
thanks to you all the way. So I send you your video. Thanks again and have a blessed evening.
All right, so there you go, folks. I just wanted to inspire you, and all thanks goes towards the Hippolyte family. And, I continue to keep them in my prayer as they continue. And by the way, this is not the only family that they're helping. There are many other families that they're taking care of as we speak. And because of the way things are going in St. Lucia, Persons are in need. Persons are seriously in need. And that's why I say to you folks, if you can do something to help, to ease the pressure on your neighbor, it will be a very good thing. So God bless you, and I hope that many others are inspired to do more. And like I said, that those hampers will be delivered. More hampers will be delivered in the next few days, I believe. And, I see Martin Francis there, who is the driver and supporter, and he's the one who carries the weight, and so Martin, thank you. God bless you and your entire family. May your bread basket never be empty. Also, may you be blessed in abundance with health and long life. May God bless you with longevity. Thank you very much, Martin Francis and Ms. Hippolyte and Mr. Hippolyte. Very beautiful family indeed. Thank you very much. All right. So we have some business. Now tonight, I am very, very, very tired and upset. Most of you would have been viewing the House sitting today, and some of you would have seen the hypocrisy at some point. Again, also, sorry, just to add, most of you would have seen how should I say this? Most of you would have listened to Mr. Jeremiah Norbert's presentation. I have not commented on Mr. Jeremiah from the time I came on this scene, but tonight I want to have a discussion with him. I want to have a discussion with him because it seems like he is so fresh into politics that he's missing a lot of bad behavior from his party members and the other ministers of his government. And so I want to remind him, I want to show him, I want him to get some schooling tonight on what has taken place in the House and what is happening now. Based on his presentation, I believe it seems like somebody wrote that thing for the man, because what he is reading is not what is or was reflected in the people that he's sitting around. And so tonight I'm going to have a serious conversation with Mr. Jeremiah Norbert. Also, there are two announcers that work with the government, and that is, let me just say this. Julia, yeah, Julia. Well, a minute. You see, I don't want to read my messages. My friend Yard, listen to me. You ain't no old broom. You're young. You're a young woman. What are you talking about? You're old broom. You know how long you and I, when I first came on the scene, you were the one who we were back and forth and everything else. You remember that? No, man. Alpha, my friend, bravo. How are you? Yes, Julie. Joe. Oh, my God. Joe, come on. Ou ka fè mo depale elsewhere. I need all my English for later on. Because I don't want us to stay. Joe, I'm a bit yourself. Sana fè pou. Sorry. So we have Emmanuel viewing from St. Croix. So, folks, you all got to help me. So now I know I have to watch all the comments. Arnold, how are you? Wait. Good night, Joseph. Sarah Joseph. Sarah Joseph. Okay, so we'll go on. But Jojo, Jojo, my Jojo. Good evening. They let Jojo say they let one bitter. All right, so let's go on, folks. We have serious business, more serious business present. Now today, the Speaker of the House treated Mr. Alan Shastney with utmost respect, and Mr. Shastney was protected by the Speaker. We saw it for the very first time, and so I personally want to thank the supporters, those who got really fired up and upset. They spoke out, and we saw that difference. We saw the difference in the Speaker today. All right, we saw that difference, folks. And you see, the power lies with you, the people. That's what we have been saying over and over again. The power is with the people, and the people must understand that power. You must understand that power that you possess. Now, Mr. Henry is still in, Joachim Henry, he is still in Martinique, I believe in recovery. But I came across a video that I was very concerned about as a Seventh-day Adventist. I saw Mr. Henry partying with glass in his hands. I don't know what he was drinking, but I saw him partying and having a great time. And as Adventists, we party differently, but I saw him, and I am not sure if the Prime Minister and some of his ministers, if they're so insensitive to the plight of the people at this time, if they understand that people are going through a very difficult time. Very difficult time. And for them to see sometimes some of these pictures, these videos of government ministers having a beautiful time, showing up with their food and their drinks, having party at the Prime Minister's house in a time when people cannot eat properly. And then it is rubbed in their face, basically. Look at us and our supporters. Look at us and our supporters. And so I'm going to call it out tonight. I'm going to bring to your attention certain things. As a matter of fact, let's go first to the party. Let's go to the party, and then we will deal with Mr. Jeremiah tonight. We'll deal with Mr. Jeremiah tonight, and we're hoping still to have Mr. Shastney so that he can shed some more light on the mall situation that was sold. Today, it seems that the Speaker is saying, and Mr. Frederick, that yes, it was sold based on what they have in their hands. And so I personally, we would want to have our Honorable Prime Minister to come to this safe zone where, he can enlighten us on the deal. And even Mr. Joseph has information on that deal. So just stay calm, folks. What you hear is not what you always hear. Trust me, there's always 1,000 sides in politics to one story. 1,000 times, and the best spinner would be the winner. Yes, the best spinner will be the winner. Let's go to the party, folks, a celebration. Now, guys, this is Mr. Joachim just Saturday night, and I believe the same night he took ill and was transported for medical care in Martinique. But let's follow. Mr. Pierre. Oh my gosh, we're live there. Yes,
I, yes, I. We are right there at the Prime Minister's official residence. Thank you for the compliments. Thank you. That's the man himself who brought St. Lucia to St. Lucians. Yes, man, yes, indeed. The boss, Maria Joseph, hello to you. The boss, they call you. Bernard Haynes, you in New York, but you minding our business. All right, Carlos Etienne, Del Manuel in England. Good night. Candy Ken Joseph, look at my peer. Yes, I.
So, folks, there you have it. That is Mr. Henry partying, enjoying himself, and falling ill immediately after this situation. All right, let's play the game. Now, all this is while you people suffer, while you people can't afford. Now, let me stop it, but all this is happening while you folks cannot afford basic food items in your country. I'm not saying your government can't party and have a good time, but at least it says to me that either these guys are tone deaf or they don't really understand what you, the citizens of St. Lucia, are going through. I don't know what to say. I am assuming here. I am doing exactly what these guys were doing for the past 4 years. They were coming online and they were just, everything they were picking. If Mr. Shasney goes and eat guavas or he eats some bread by the road, they were picking. If tourists walk by the street, they would be picking. So allow me to do some picking tonight. If it's good for them, it is good for you. If it is good for you, it is good for them. Is that not the truth? Yes, do unto others as you would have them to do unto you. So allow me to do some picking. Allow me to major in minors like you guys were doing. Every time Mr. Shasney goes on the airplane, you guys complained. Every time he goes on official business, you guys complain. Every time he spends $1, you guys complain. Every deal that the guy made, you guys complain. So just permit me the latitude to walk in your footsteps tonight. Just for a few minutes, not for long. Not for long. So permit me. Now, with all this money that is spent for a party, for rum, drinking, and you know the sad thing about it? At the end of all the nasty music and the gyrating and the rum drinking, after all, you know what these guys did? They played a gospel song at the end. These guys have no fear of God in them, I am telling you. They played gospel music. After those who should not be drinking found themselves drinking, those who should not be whining and dancing as Christians were there whining and dancing in their white shirts. And immediately after, with the alcohol in their system, they put out a note calling for a national prayer of the nation on behalf of a minister of government. And that's why I say to you, God is not mocked and he will not be mocked. Whatsoever a man sows, that he shall reap. And I'm not insensitive. I'm still praying for the family. But there are certain lines, when we cross that line, there is always a reaction. Anytime you cross that thou shalt not line, there is always a reaction to the thou shalt not. When you violate the laws of God and the laws of health, you suffer the consequences. If you know that you should not be consuming salt, because you have high blood pressure, and you continue to do so, then you, my friend, will suffer the consequences. If you know that you are not supposed to be drinking alcohol and you consume alcohol, then you suffer that natural penalty, the natural wages. And the Bible says the wages of sin is death. So I am just saying that I am not being insensitive. I am not being insensitive at all. But all I am saying that you must represent who you profess to be following. You got to represent it, and don't let politics change you into a monster. The same hospital that you walked around in the house and with your measurement and how much square foot and blah, blah, blah. You bypass that box and you left St. Lucia because none of the boxes here, whether it's St. Jude or Castries, none of those boxes, or not even Tapia box, you guys were comfortable in using. And that is the hypocrisy that we as citizens must flush. And not only flush, we must flush it as loud as we can. We gotta flush it as loud as we can. That's, my friend, all I have to say on this matter. You cannot call for prayer and you are drunk. You cannot call for prayer and you're in riotous behavior and riotous living. You can't pull God in your magie because he will not be mocked. And he can neither be bought nor sold by politicians. He, God, sets up kingdoms and he takes them down. I heard the Prime Minister boasting that, oh, none of you can't vote me out. None of you. I will continue to win my seat. The SLP will win that seat. I say to you that God takes down. He put up and he takes down. And there is nothing you and I can do about it when God is ready to take down and to put up. That's all I can say on that, right? So, oh sinner, you believe what you believe, that you are God by yourself. Yeah, you're God by yourself, and you can do what you want. All right? Jojo said that I have double toilet. Well, he left it for me. It was will to me, all right? But let's go to, I want to look at this, the sitting of the House. And I want you to listen, pay attention to the announcers. These are government employees paid by you, the people of St. Lucia. They're not paid by the SLP or the United Workers' Party. They are paid by you, the taxpayers. All right. So listen to their opening comments for the sitting of the House.
By the Minister of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology, and Vocational Training. By the Minister of Commerce, Manufacturing, Business.
Now, by the way, that is the same gentleman who passed his place at some point when I believe the House sat for the first time. All right?
Un député speaker, un assistant pour speaker, pour si un cas speaker malade, eh bien, peut-être en l'occasion qui en est cause, peut-être il passe à faire. Cela, ça était toujours là. Il pas en dedans, il en dedans loi, enfin constitution, mais mes derniers gouvernements décidé qu'il partait ça continuer. À quoi dire, il partait obligé faire. Avec Winston, ben nous en chaque détail. sous ces différents speakers, c'est des différents deputy speakers qui te tiennent position ça là avec tes mains garder ce ça réfléchir à ce évitement. C'est mon en 1980 ça c'est 79 les Saint-Lucie venu indépendant pour arriver 1982 deputy speaker c'était honorable Cécile Lee à ce façade SLP aussi nous tenions en 1982 pour 1987 deputy speaker c'était Eldred Stevens à ce façade UWP avec premier ministre en temps ça là c'était défunt John Compton, c'est John Compton. 1987 pour 1992 Deputy Speaker, c'était honorable Alan Bousquet à ce façade UWP avec ça c'était à bas gouvernement et bien premier ministre John Compton, c'est John Compton avec en 1992 pour 1997 c'est Deputy Speaker sous c'était honorable Alan Bousquet, défunt Alan Bousquet à sous façade UWP en temps ça là encore c'était gouvernement c'est John Compton qui était conduit avec 1997 pour 1900 ça c'est 2006 honorable Cécile Lee à ce façade UWP c'est lui qui était deputy speaker en bas conduite Dr. Kenny Anthony après ça nous tenons 2006 pour
just bear with me folks, I'm just trying to get to some points here. I think I just missed it, but
deputy speaker avec position ça là c'est 100 monde en dans position ça là pour 5 années avec c'est ça gouvernement qui a essayé de corriger Jodia avec changement en constitution.
Well, when the parliament convened for the first time after the 2016 elections, the governing party of then Prime Minister Alan Chasney, Leon Theodore John, the government's nominee, was chosen as Speaker without dissent. However, an embarrassing silence descended on the assembly of the great, the good, and the party faithful gathered for this splendid ceremonial occasion, when the honorable members of the House failed to nominate someone for the position of Deputy Speaker as the Constitution mandated that they should. After the House recessed for a brief consultation between Prime Minister Chasney, who was also the leader of government business, and the opposition leader, now Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre, Chasney nominated Sarah Flood Bowbray for the position of Deputy Speaker, as she was the only one on his team.
You know what? I can't get to the place that I wanted to get. So let's go over to Jeremiah Norbert. And by the way, I don't know what to say because I was just a little disturbed by the young man's presentation, and I want to highlight some points here from him. Please join me.
Mr. Speaker, I want to start off today by wishing the Minister for Equity, and I'm happy that today he reported that he's doing much better, but I want to wish him a speedy recovery. And I think it serves as a reminder for all of us here that in any instance, our circumstances can change. And sometimes I think the Prime Minister, the member for Castries East said it, sometimes we are gurus, we big, we bad. But notwithstanding that, Mr. Speaker, I think we have to understand that we are somewhere because God placed us where we are chosen people and we're in certain positions.
Now, let me say something to Mr. Jeremiah. Leave God out of your mess. I just want to say this off the bat. leave God out of your mess, because when some of you guys are in dark places with people that you should not be with, then you do not mention God. When some of you are running around with people that you should not be running around with, you don't know anything about God. Huh? When you are doing all your garbage, drinking and you're gyrating and you don't bring God in your garbage, because he will not be mocked. I just want to say this before you continue with your speech. So leave God out, please. Let's go back again.
As we call him affectionately, Lazy Master or Knock. This man was a walking sensation, and I know that given the way in which he met his untimely demise, it would have surely shaken the community of Monrepo. But his hope was that he would go to heaven to help God water flowers. So I'm hoping that he got to heaven and he's helping God water the flowers.
So here is another deception, that a man can drink all his life, do not live for God, die and go to heaven, and water flowers in heaven. I don't know where he get this garbage from. It's religious garbage. It's not making any sense at all. If you're trying to make a joke on it, I don't think you should be joking around when a man loses life. One, he is not in no heaven watering any garden. And that's to show you your your idea about Christianity. That you can be on the hill, or you can be on the side streets, or you can be by the beach in your vehicle with persons who are not your wife. Some of you can get young ladies pregnant with your wives at home, and then you still come in the house with your self-righteous self. Now, I would say to you, Mr. Jeremiah, you're being self-righteous. Yes, you are. You're acting like you're a priest, a pastor all of a sudden. But remember that everything that happens in darkness will come to light. And there's a lot that is being done in darkness that's soon to be brought to light. So let's go ahead with his presentation. Go ahead, sir.
I also want to thank the member for Castries East and the member for Vieux Fort South for what I deemed a masterclass presentation in the House last week. In as much as I was not present, Mr. Speaker, I relish the opportunity to be enlightened virtually. Coming from this, I saw social media posts, and at the time of the debate, I was in the presence of the Deputy Speaker of Trinidad and Tobago and other parliamentarians from the region. And not only did they commend us as a people, Mr. Speaker, for taking this decision on this historical date, they also congratulated us, Mr. Speaker, for not merely talking the talk, but actually walking the walk. And I think the member for Vieux Fort South did a wonderful job in ensuring that we're all enlightened. Some of us by lips and some of us by bounds. But I was a bit disappointed, Mr. Speaker, because I was really looking forward to hearing the leader of the opposition's position on this matter. And not the one on social media, not the one on news screen, but the one in this honorable house, Mr. Speaker. And I think it's time when people, and Mr. Speaker, I think maybe this is a conversation we need to have as a house. Maybe the House Committee needs to meet to discuss how we run the business of this house. I don't think that it's fair that you come and just get up of the house, get out and go, run, make your presentation and leave. This is an honorable house. People represented you. People elected you. They stood on long lines.
First of all, I don't even understand what Mr. just said there. I really don't understand. You, sir, you're a hypocrite. You are one of the biggest hypocrite that I've ever seen in the debate for today. Biggest hypocrite. Because one, none of the other ministers would make such a statement that Mr. Shastri took his stuff and walked out. You're the only hypocrite that will make that statement. And you're acting self-righteous now. You are not righteous, one. And you know what I'm talking about. You, sir, you are not righteous and you must repent or you will perish. You got to repent. So to come here now with your self-righteous speech, like all of a sudden you wake up sober. All of a sudden you all nice at home and you don't have any jabals and nothing else is going on. And now you're giving a lecture on morality and what is righteousness and what is right. Look, you just sent a dead man to heaven. He's watering the flowers in heaven. And I continue to give my condolences to the family. But how a man live is how he's going to die. If you live for God, you will die with him. You will die for him. You will sleep. If you live for the devil all your life and you die, where you think you're going to heaven? You got to live for Jesus now. But you, sir, you're a hypocrite and self-righteous. And I'm sick of you with this statement. Because you're acting as though all of these fellas who walked out of the house before, you know what? Let me just take you to that. Because let me remind you, because you have a short memory. Get off my screen. Let me remind you, sir. Bunch of hypocrites. Let me remind you.
That the only thing the Constitution says is that no business can be transacted if there is not a speaker. There is a speaker presiding today, and we will continue because no member has seen it convenient to nominate. It is the business of the government, it is the business of the independents, it is the business of the opposition to make sure that the structure of parliament is in place. We shall continue with the business of the House. Honorable members, I took the... Fine, it is here. Fine, fine.
Legal.
Fine, fine. And it is your right. Honorable member, it is your right to...
Madam Speaker, I will stand and you're allowed to put me out.
Pardon me? You will not sit, it is your prerogative to stand. Well, stand. I will continue with the business of the House. If you choose to stand, fine. Honorable members, I took the liberty to send a message of condolence on behalf of the Parliament to the Embassy of Cuba on Wednesday on the passing away of the Vice President.
Now, folks, look at that. I hope you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. Let me know if you are seeing, because I want to be very clear. I want to be very, very clear tonight, and I want to send this message out that we the people will not accept hypocrisy, Mr. Jeremiah. We will not, because if you look in this picture here, and I just pause it, you will see Mr. Kenny Anthony, Mr. Philip Japere, and a number of other government officials at the time who disrespected the House. They are standing in the House in protest that a deputy speaker was not appointed. They refuse to listen to Madam Speaker. Refuse. They stood up in protest. And very soon you will see what these guys did. But Jeremiah is trying to preach to Mr. Chasney about walking out when he was being disrespected, which was the ideal thing to do. If the guys have no respect for you in that environment, for your own sake, you want to leave the environment. You want to leave the environment. But let's go back to these self-righteous people.
Council of State, Julio Casas Riguero. Statements by ministers. Papers to be laid.
Madam Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers standing.
But hold a minute, folks. Hold a minute. You see what I cannot take in our society? And I got to speak up because Mr. Stephenson King was the prime minister when they did that foolishness. Now Mr. Stephenson King is in the same group now condemning Mr. Chasney for walking out. Now is in support, and now we have Jeremiah trying to give Mr. Chasney some religious lessons and some other ethical lessons, if you please. But I will go through this and I will guide you, sir, tonight. I will guide you tonight, sir. Let's go back. Let's go back.
In my name. Renegades. Renegades. Statutory. Break the law of the country. Statutory instrument number 60 of
Honorable
2011.
Honorable Prime Minister. Honorable Prime Minister.
Incentives.
Allow the disorder to leave the chamber, please. If we have silence and order from the members who will remain, then we will continue. But a member was speaking
It's 8
on the
o'clock.
floor and members are leaving in big noise, and you call this order? It is not order. It is not order. A member is on the floor and other members are talking over. No. You have chosen to leave the parliament. Sorry, sir. You have chosen to leave the parliament. Then I am going to allow you to leave.
Madam Speaker, before I leave, Madam Speaker.
Honorable member, I really need no additions.
Madam Speaker, I want to Madam Speaker, I want to tell you, Madam Speaker, and the people of St. Lucia, that we must not, for convenience sake, use the Constitution when it is convenient to us. Madam Speaker, in this Honorable House, there are 9 government MPs. They have the majority. It has never been
Madam Speaker, on a point of order.
on this Madam Speaker, I am here with the same authority as him. So you can't tell me when to speak. Nobody, I am here with the same authority as all of them.
Honorable members,
parliamentarian.
Okay.
The people sent me here to speak on the business of the country.
And you have
they can't tell me
spoken.
when to speak.
And you have spoken, and you are saying that it is not constitutional, and I am saying that I have the authority to do.
For the people of this country.
Not one member found it convenient.
You can't do me anything. I've told you that. You can't do me anything, none of you. I've warned you about it. But that's why you refuse to want to stop being ministers. That's the problem. That's why you're ministers. Huh? That's not your business.
Honorable members, I would like to proceed with the business of the House.
That's why you need to be a minister. You're a prostitute in the country. You must not do that. This is not right. Because you have the majority, you do not want to let one of your members resign to allow the deputy speaker to go ahead. This is what happens to you, Madam Speaker. The House cannot meet. That can't be right. And I will stand up to speak up. It can't be right, Madam Speaker.
I believe it was everybody's responsibility to make sure the structure of the parliament is in place. So everyone here is responsible. Everybody here is.
We must stand up.
Everybody here is responsible.
I am standing for the rights of the people of St. Lucia, Madam Speaker, regardless of what these ministers say, regardless of how they use their majority, regardless of the things they will say about me. I'm standing up, Madam Speaker, for rightness.
Okay, we have heard your argument. Honorable Prime Minister, please continue.
There you have it, folks. So let's go back to Mr. Jeremiah. Let's go back, folks.
Heaven to help God water flowers. So I'm hoping that he got to heaven and is helping God water the flowers. I also want to thank the member for Castries East and the member for Beaufort South for what I deemed a masterclass presentation in the House last week. In as much as I was not present, Mr. Speaker, I relish the opportunity to be enlightened virtually. Coming from this, I saw social media posts, and at the time of the debate, I was in the presence of the Deputy Speaker of Trinidad and Tobago and other parliamentarians from the region. And not only did they commend us, or people, as a people, Mr. Speaker, for taking this decision on this historical date, they also congratulated us, Mr. Speaker, for not merely talking the talk, but actually walking the walk. And I think the member for Beaufort South did a wonderful job in ensuring that we're all enlightened. Some of us by lips and some of us by bounds. But I was a bit disappointed, Mr. Speaker, because I was really looking forward to hearing the leader of the opposition's position on this matter. And not the one on social media, not the one on news screen, but the one in this honorable house, Mr. Speaker. And I think it's time when people, and Mr. Speaker, I think maybe this is a conversation we need to have as a house. Maybe the House Committee needs to meet to discuss how we run the business of this house. I don't think that it's fair that you come and just get up of the house, get out and go, run, make your presentation and leave. This is honorable house. People represented you, people elected you. They stood on long lines to ensure that they receive some type of representation, and to just come here and to treat the house, and you heard the type of language that some people use, Mr. Speaker, former parliamentarians, well, current parliamentarians, Mr. Speaker, you hear the language that they use when they speak about the house and the order in which the house is run. But on the substantive matter before us today,
hold a minute, you don't just say that and run off like nothing is going on. No, we would not accept that. Yeah, we can't accept that. So folks, I can't believe what I'm hearing, the honest truth. Do you all remember that it was Mr. Frederick who used some very serious words in the House? These ministers heard. Jeremiah sits very close to him, so he heard that F-tone. He heard it. I have not heard Mr. Shastney or Bradley cursed or use any obscene language in the House. It was your people, Jeremiah. For some reason tonight, everything that you're saying in the House today, I mean, I'm not even sure who wrote that thing for you. I am honestly confused, folks. Is this guy for real? I am very much confused. And brethren, believe me when I say to you that I don't understand what is happening before me. One, he spoke about guys walking out with their paper. The last time we just looked, just a minute ago, we saw every one of these guys, including the folks who were sitting in the pavilion, took their papers, their notes, and they walked out. Two, there was only one guy who used these obscene languages in the House. Was your guy. Your guy, sir. And if we did not have these videos, you guys would have been spinning what you're saying there as gospel. I'm going to go. Let's listen to this again, because I honestly don't know what is happening here. And you guys will have to guide me on it, because I really don't know.
I think it serves as a reminder for all of us here that in any instance, our circumstances can change. And sometimes I think the Prime Minister, the member for Castries East said it, sometimes we are gurus, we big, we bad. But notwithstanding that, Mr. Speaker, I think we have to understand that we are somewhere because God placed us where we are. We are chosen people, and we're in certain positions to fulfill certain mandates. And I want to also extend my condolences, Mr. Speaker, to the friends and family of Nicholas Modest, who we call him affectionately Lazy Master or Knack. This man was a walking sensation, and I know that given the way in which he met his untimely demise, it would have surely shaken the community of Monrepo. But his hope was that he would go to heaven to help God water flowers.
Listen, his hope was that he would go to heaven to help God water flowers. But then he's saying the guy was sensational. The guy had no clean words in his mouth. Huh? None of his words were clean. But this guy is in the house saying to the other members that he's in heaven watering flower. Now, I know I'm back and forth on this, but I'm taking my time because I just want to show you folks the hypocrisy, the foolishness that we got to tolerate in the people's house. Huh? Listen to this.
Got to heaven and he's helping God water the flowers. I also want to thank the member for Castries East and the member for Vieux-Fort South for what I deemed a masterclass presentation in the House last week. In as much as I was not present, Mr. Speaker, I relish the opportunity to be enlightened virtually. Coming from this, I saw social media posts, and at the time of the debate, I was in the presence of the Deputy Speaker of Trinidad and Tobago and other parliamentarians from the region. And not only did they commend us as a people, Mr. Speaker, for taking this decision on this historical date, they also congratulated us, Mr. Speaker, for not merely talking the talk, but actually walking the walk. And I think the member for Vieux-Fort South did a wonderful job in ensuring that we're all enlightened. Some of us by lips and some of us by bounds. But I was a bit disappointed, Mr. Speaker, because I was really looking forward to hearing the leader of the opposition's position on this matter. And not the one on social media, not the one on news spin, but the one in this honorable house, Mr. Speaker. And I think it's time when people, and Mr. Speaker, I think maybe this is a conversation we need to have as a house. Maybe the House Committee needs to meet to discuss how we run the business of this house. I don't think that it's fair that you come and just get up of the house, get out and go, run, make your presentation and leave. This is an honorable house. People represented you. People elected you. They stood on long lines to ensure that they receive some type of representation. And to just come here and to treat the house, and you heard the type of language that some people use, Mr. Speaker, former parliamentarians, well, current parliamentarians, Mr. Speaker, you hear the language that they use when they speak about the house and the order in which the house is run. But on the substantive matter before us today, Mr. Speaker, we saw the leader of the opposition hoping that he's going to return. I still see some papers on the desk. So it is my hope, my earnest hope, that he is going to return. However he is going to be watching, because I know that quite a few members have a lot to say on this today. But I'm starting to have serious concerns, Mr. Speaker, about when members find themselves in opposition, whether their memory about actions they took in government or as in government automatically erases, and they become rebooted, refreshed. You know, like you buy a computer and you can restart, clear memory.
People, I honestly, I hope you understand what I'm doing here tonight. Folks, I tell you guys, this is Clown City. My Jimmy Webareko. All that this brother Jeremiah, all what he's saying there, you know, represent his own prime minister, his party, Mr. Kenny Anthony, his party, everything that he's complaining about, you know, walking out, using words in the house, and all the other things, everything. The guy is even wrong on religious matters. He is wrong on every level. Folks, I don't know if you guys are seeing the seriousness of this. A man dies. He was basically he had problems with alcohol and cursing and all those things, but he's in heaven watering with God. And I suspect that he believes that his people will do whatever they want, and they will be in heaven watering garden with God, like God wants somebody to water garden in heaven. Heaven is a perfected place. So I'm not even sure why he's blaspheming, basically. He's getting into these religious things and making a fool, a religious fool of himself and a political fool with himself. All because he wants to get a little piece of Shasney. So honestly, I don't know if this guy had taken his time and he had gone to his house last night and stopped parking in dark areas, then he would have been able to read that script before he go in the house and make a fool of himself. And he would shut his mouth and allow decent people to speak on these important matters. Because you guys are a bunch of hypocrites. You're a bunch of hypocrites, folks. Bunch of hypocrites. Now, the people in the CDC, let's listen to this brother for a little minute more, because we got to let these people speak so that we can see what's going on.
Memory and start again. And it feels that way, Mr. Speaker, because I listened to the presentation, I really thought like, I don't know, is this the same person who from 2016 to 2021 refused to appoint a deputy speaker, and now you come back like you're baptized?
But what is so important with a deputy speaker? If you have a weak bladder, stay in your house. Stay out of politics. If your bladder weak, stop drinking beers and rum. What is so important? Jobs. You're fighting now for a job. All of a sudden you're vocal. Jeremiah, you were not so vocal in the house. You would just say 2 or 3 words and say you support the bill and you would sit down. But all of a sudden, because Mr. Shasney hit where it hurt and he says it's a job for the boys, and he said, look, let's call the bill but bill instead. You are mad because you think that he's threatening your increase of salary as a minister. So now you're lashing out at him, and you're lashing out at him with stuff that you should not be speaking. You should be counseling your own guys. You should be saying to them, guys, you all have to make a statement before the people of St. Lucia. You guys got to repent publicly to the people. Seeing that you're so religious and you're sending people to heaven, even people who drinks strong alcohol and are deceived by it. The Bible says, he that deceiveth by it is not wise. But you're sending them past Jesus himself, go into heaven to meet God. Crooked politician, ain't it? So because the man, it appears that the man is questioning your increase of salary. You're mad. So you're taking the sins of your party and you're trying to place it on the sacrificial lamb, Mr. Shasney. And that says to me that you should not be representing anybody in the house. Because one, if you did your homework, then you, sir, would not make those statements, because if you were following politics, you would have known that it is your guys who are doing exactly what you're saying, and you would be ashamed and not say anything. But everything that they did in the past, you are trying to rub it on Mr. Chastney. And what we're supposed to do, just sit down and allow you to just lose your way with those statements. Just lose your way with what you're saying. And you should not be called out. And then the Prime Minister is saying that Mr. Chastney was rejoicing when you lost your leg. And that was not true. Mr. Chastney is not that type of person to rejoice over people's sickness and their injury. And I've gotten to know the man well enough. He will not do such a thing. He will stick with the issues. And the issues is not your foot that you lose. That's not the issue. He would never discuss that because it is not part of the national discourse. So for you guys to come and say, oh, he talk about his injury and blah, 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 it's a lie. And you're misleading the House. And should be flushed 100 times. Let's let this man finish what he's saying so that he can get off the set, because it doesn't make sense.
You went to the river, put your head under the water, and you come back renewed, refreshed, and you forgot all your sins have been forgiven, and now you come and give licks. But today we are before this house to the...
But wait a minute, that Mr. Chastney comes as though all his sins has been forgiven. There are persons sitting right there in your cabinet who are still practicing the same sins of yesterday. You, sir, you are still practicing the same sin from last week. Now, I can ask you some questions, but I'm not going to go there. That's not part of the discussion. I am not going to go there. You think I don't have information on my desk right now about you? Why do you think I'm speaking the way I'm speaking? You think I have nothing on you? I have no pictures. I have no evidence here on the platform? So you just slide past what you're saying, that Mr. Chastney, he baptized, he repent, blah, blah, blah. When you yourself should not be speaking on religious matters. You yourself, you are no authority for young people. You are no example for any young person. And by the way, I just want to give you notice that your time in that house is short. So enjoy the meals, enjoy the air condition, enjoy using the mic to spew your garbage, because your time is short there. The people of Miku will stand up. They will stand up. And when they stand, you will hear it for decades to come. Because you, sir, you are not an example to anyone in that community. And I could tell you why. And call me if you want to know why. And I'll tell you why.
The bill to amend the Constitution to allow the Deputy Speaker to either be an elected member of the House or to allow someone other than an elected member of the House to take up the position of Deputy Speaker. And prior to coming here today, Mr. Speaker, the opposition, the leader of the opposition, he profited the opportunity to post on his social media page, and you heard him, and I think the Prime Minister alluded to it, that we're heading to the Parliament to create more jobs for the comrades. You have the audacity to make such a statement. And need I not remind you, Mr. Speaker, that it was the government then, and it's a pity it's only the member for Chozel who is there, and he's my good friend.
He's a decent man.
Yeah, he's a good man.
But on the wrong side.
Yes.
On the wrong side.
It was your government on the 12th of July 2016, at the first sitting of Parliament, who appointed the member for Castro Central, at the time, then member for Castro Central, as the Deputy Speaker. And a mere 34 days after she was appointed, she tendered her resignation. and you're talking about jobs for the comrades. And at the second sitting of the House on the 16th of August 2016, when the then Speaker announced that she was...
But sir, it was your people who was saying to Mr. Shastney that is friends, foreigners, and whoever it is. Friends, foreigners, and families. Do you forget? Now, folks, I'm not sure if I'm making sense to you, but if I was in court with him, he would have lost his case. As a former police officer, he would have lost his case. He would have lost his case with a preacher man because what he's saying there makes no sense. And I would have pointed back at every incident where his people repeated the very same words and actions that he is accusing the Honorable Mr. Shastney of. Every one of them. And folks, you there listening, you tell me if I am wrong or I'm going crazy or something. Everything the man is accusing Mr. Shastney of and his administration, former administration, they are the ones who have been peddling it. Friends, family, and foreigners. So because Mr. Shastney now put up job for the boys, ufashi. Why you vexed? Because the increase of salary, that's what your eye on, ain't it? Zio alay. Huh? So fâché. So se bagay la ou ka di oswe ou pa de pou di se bagay sa, monsieur, because se mounou ki ka fe se bagay sa. Friends, family, and foreigners. All the man did, is wrote on his official page, job for the boys, ekuvashi. If you can't give, if you can't take, don't give. And there's a saying, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. Huh? If you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen. But let's go back. We're finishing this part soon. Don't worry.
Member of Castries Central and informed that the position of the Deputy Speaker was then vacant and requested on 3 occasions for Deputy Speaker to be elected. The House remained silent. But you're going to say that the opposition could have taken a member from the opposition to be the Deputy Speaker. The Speaker then went to say, Honorable members, I will read from the silence that it is not convenient at this time to elect a Deputy Speaker. And so, I will proceed at this juncture with the business of this House. And notwithstanding that Section 46 of the Constitution says, if the office of the Deputy Speaker falls vacant at any time before the next dissolution of the Parliament, the House shall, and note well, I did not say the House may, so the House shall, as soon as convenient, elect another member of the House to that office. And so the business of the...
Right, so it says elect another member of the House, which means it can be an opposition member or it could be a government member. I don't care what anybody say, it's clear. You can talk about the spirit of the writers, what they meant. What we are not in their heads. We can only interpret what we see on paper. So you can't tell me, oh, that's what we did for 40 years, so let's continue doing it. No, if you take something like that in court, you will lose. Why would you lose? Because the court is not going by no spirit of anything. They're going by what they're seeing on the document. And if the documents say that the House and not the ruling government, the government, then it is different. But it says the House. Boy, I don't know what is going on. And you know why I don't trust many of you as lawyers in that party? Because you all misled the House Speaker, all of you. You misled him with all your counsels and professional and constitutional lawyers. You misled the man and have the man causing the taxpayers thousands of dollars with all the good advice that you guys have and interpretation. For one man who is not a lawyer to tie you up in court like that, then I don't want to listen to you guys. Period.
1,758 days, Mr. Speaker. 1,758 days. And not one of these days was it convenient, Mr. Speaker. Not one of the days was it convenient to appoint a Deputy Speaker. showed blatant and scant disregard for the very basic tenets of parliamentary democracy, and yet still unconventional as well. You feel like you are not getting protection from the chair, and even when you get the protection from the chair, you pack your bags and you run. You go.
Wow. You see what money does? They just promised a man an increase of salary. Just promise him an increase of salary, and he's coming just worse than the others. Folks, there you have it. I give you all the evidence. It's before you. I give you everything. Huh? What else can I say about him? By the way, I have some clips here from Richard Frederick, voicemails. I think we should play them. I'm going to play 2 of them concerning the CDC situation there. Wow. Boy, when it rains, it pours. Let's go over to Mr. Frederick.
Those guys to munge me, where the place is totally uninhabited.
These sounds like leaked
Play
documents.
music as loud as they want. They can smoke weed as much as they want, and they can disrespect rights of others, because the only person's rights whom they will disrespect are comrades of their own. You understand? But this is foolishness. People must learn to coexist. People must learn to understand and appreciate the comfort of others who don't indulge in the foolishness that you do. And some of you want notoriety. You want it through badness. Rather than doing good deeds, you want it through badness. You all have to stay put, man.
All right, except that Monjimi has the highest point on St. Lucia, the roof of St. Lucia. If those fellas go up there and they play music, man, the music might blast down on all the rest of us.
These are public stuff.
Totally uninhabited, so they can play music as loud as they want. They can smoke weed as much as they want, and they can disrespect rights of others, because the only person's rights whom they will disrespect are comrades of their own. You understand? But this is foolishness. People must learn to coexist. People must learn to understand and appreciate the comfort of others who don't indulge in the foolishness that you do. And some of you want notoriety. You want it through badness. Rather than doing good deeds, you want it through badness. You all have to stay put, man.
All right, except that Monjimi has the high.
So, folks, I don't understand. I don't know if you understand what's happening there. He's upset with some of the people in the CDC. But based on the excuse that we got in the house is that the buildings are unsafe and it is time to take them down. But you listen to the conversation well, ain't it? So that's what these guys do. That's what they do. You know? And if you don't reason for yourself, if you don't think and use common sense, then you swallow everything that comes out of the house. So tonight, we just put Mr. Jeremiah on notice that Mr. Shasney is not your boy, one. You cannot disrespect him, two. He's older than you, 3. And you're a hypocrite, 4. And again, you know what I am speaking about. So instead of sending people to heaven, my advice to you is to get yourself together. You will get the increase. You will be appointed as a minister. You will get your increase. Don't worry about it. But if I were you, I would save that increase, because you, sir, will be voted out, and the people will see to it that you are voted out. Period. All right? So, folks, I am going to go now. I have other clips there, but I'm going to go now. Yes, I'm going to go. So, folks, thank you for being here with us. Have a beautiful night. I am babysitting my daughter tonight. All right? I'm doing my daughter tonight because my wife's brother is here from Barbados for a major operation tomorrow. And so I just wanted to be with you guys tonight. Let me just go through the greetings with you. I just wanted to be here with you tonight. I don't want to have dead space, you know. But you saw what I did tonight, folks. You saw it. You saw the evidence. You know the truth. And you should not believe these guys. Don't believe them for a bit. They will take you to hell and tell you you're in heaven watering flowers. Don't follow Jeremiah. He's a false prophet. When you check yourself, you in hell. Let's read some of the comments, folks. All right. Rachel Smith, by the way, Rachel Smith, I know her for a long time in Denver, and her family, beautiful family. What are you guys putting together for the young people? Put them to work. Exactly. Martin Francis, if I was in the house, I would send me to buy bread. Oh, Martin, you're bad so? Martin, my brother, man. Ay. Bernard, that man upsetting me. Don't get upset, folks. Don't let anybody outside of you control your continent or your mood, all right? And my friend Joe, Sarah Joseph, I still have the picture, lol. You all share that picture with me now. My friend Catherine St. Bernard, my favorite friend. She says, Joe, be careful. Facebook coming for you. Jail time. And I'm not visiting her in jail at all, so she better stop. All right. Henry says he has nothing to say on Shakespeare. Nothing he's talking about. He looks ashamed of himself. No eyes contact. You're a psychologist, my friend. Yard says his English so damn flat. Oh, come on. My English is messed up too. Martin says, Julia, Facebook, you don't own the rights to the language. Rosemary, seeing me does upset me for less hearing him. Don't get upset, my friend. And Yard says, I am tired of Garfield. Why is me you tired of? Some fair. Why is me? I am not Timothy, you know. While I say Timothy, X move less of. All right, so let's go on. Jeremiah looked lost. Yes, he looked a bit lost. By the way, the guy is crying for his supper. Remember his job for the boys. Okay, Lashes will have to. Miranda says Jeremiah still waiting for this. Okay, oh boy. Okay, Yard threatened me. She says one more time, Garfield, and I'm gone. Where you going? You can't go nowhere without me. Jean says sweet life is not forever. It is not, my friend. And Simon, I said, Mitch should go and. Alrighty. Martin, before you go, ask Garfield for protection. Oh, yes, I will give her the protection that she needs. Maria says, Jeremiah. Okay. Sam, that's show off, man. I don't like to hear him. All right, that's your opinion, my friend. And Joseph, Garfield, enough is enough. God is sending karma to knock on their doors. And I always tell people that God don't deal with karma. That's from the mystic religion. There is what you call swift justice, and it is just what you sow. It is what you reap. Cast your bread upon the waters. Many days it will come back to you. Whatever you put out, that is exactly what will come to you. Yeah, okay. All right. And Marceline, not just a hypocrite, he's also, oops, my folks are a little hot tonight. Okay. And my friend, Brother Anson, good night to you, sir. Welcome to the platform. James, it is good to have an SLP on the platform. Yes. James, so early? Yeah. Very early, man. Y'all don't want me to leave? Yeah, we got to go. Y'all need to go to bed, too. Cleopatra, we need another program this week to complete this one. Please, Brother Garfield. Okay, dope. One more. You see what happened? I'm very considerate with time. All right? Pastor Garfield, I'm home drinking my coconut water. Thank God it's coconut water and not whiskey. All right, Sid Bernard, my friend. Catherine Sid Bernard, what you doing home? That's where Catherine needs to be at home. Oh, she says she's attending her aunt's funeral. Oh, yes, that is true. That is true. Condolences to you and the family, and to Sasho. Condolences to her and the family. And I want to thank those who have been contributing to Sasho. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys. You have stepped up. Keep helping as much as you can. Again, thank you on her behalf, right? Oh, it's Richard. I know, Sam. I know, no problem. Good night, my friend. Marceline, good night. Good night to you all. Oops, I am leaving out my YouTube viewers who came out in large numbers tonight. Queen, good night to you. Howell Smith, blessings to you. Donovan Mitchell, good night to all. 402, good night to you too. Very short memory indeed. Very short memory indeed. So folks, have a beautiful night and get some sleep. You know, sleep is very important. If you don't get sleep, you act like these guys in the house. Start saying things that you are guilty of and accuse the other person of that guilt. You know, narcissistic behavior where you are the one guilty, but you're trying to pin it on Johnny. Is he not me? It is he not me. No, it is you. All right. So folks, enjoy your night. Remember to pray before you go to bed, and how you live is how you die. And remember that you're not going to heaven to water no grass with anybody. How you live, how you shall die. If you live with Christ, you shall reign with him. All right, folks? So have a beautiful, 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 beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. She just drew something and brought it to me.